Well, good afternoon again, good people. This time, this update is about the looming tough times for migrants, especially those who live and work in South Africa. Because, according to what we are getting, is that the new job quota for migrants is going to be implemented very soon, within the next few weeks or a month. We expect this new quota law to be implemented. You remember that the South African cabinet has rubber stamped the ANC's suggestions that certain jobs in South Africa should be reserved for only locals. The argument is from the Minister of Home Affairs is that while there's been regulations, not the Minister of Home Affairs per se, from the South African cabinet, rather, through the Department of Labor and Employment, Labor and Industry, who are part of the interministerial committee that was set up by President Cyril Ramaphosa, uh, where also there is the Department of Home Affairs and other government departments. The realization is that while South Africa had a quota system for foreign companies that came to invest in the country, which states that they should employ only 40% of foreigners in their businesses who are mostly supposed to be from the country that the investor is coming from. There was no similar quota for South African companies to employ a certain number of locals and a certain number of migrants. So the Minister of Home Affairs is saying that they realized that there should be a fair level ground, or there should be a law that governs both local and foreign companies in terms of employing people in South Africa. And then he says also that the other argument is that there were companies that were employing only migrant workers and not any of the South African workers. And they were using this not to favor the migrants, but because they wanted to exploit them, because they would they would pay them anything that they wanted, and they would employ even those without documents to be in South Africa. So they want to protect those migrants that are here legally, while also protecting everyone who works in South Africa, so that nobody gets to be exploited, and to also guard against the deliberate overlooking of South African job seekers in favor of migrant job seekers, who will then be exploited, being paid very little, being denied certain rights that they should enjoy. So now he's saying that this law then seeks to look after South Africans' interests, and as well as the interests of every worker, regardless of where they come from, for as long as they are legally in South Africa and working in South Africa. We expect also the new law to stipulate penalties for those companies that overlook the quota, or that ignore the new quota regulations. They were going to be charged. And also those that employ people who are not supposed to be legal, to be in South Africa, those who are illegal in South Africa, who should in fact be deported out of South Africa to their countries. So those that employ them also, there is an expectation that they are going to be penalized according to the stipulated penalties. The Minister of Home Affairs, in an interview just during the weekend with one of the South African broadcasters, also stated that he doesn't push this narrative, this generalization of saying that South Africa is having close to 35% unemployment because of the presence of migrants here, be they illegal or not. But he's saying that there's been a stagnation in terms of the economic development of the country. But of course, he understands that where such things happen and unemployment levels rise, the economy is stagnant, there are going to be fingers pointed at those that are not South Africans. But he himself doesn't push this kind of a narrative, although he also believes that South Africa has been moving very slowly in terms of protecting these locals, especially in terms of the job market, because other countries, his argument is that other countries, even when they signed certain international treaties, they said that we are going to accept this. We are not going to accept that. This will be reserved for locals. This is not going to be reserved for locals. So he's saying that South Africa did not have this kind of a quota in place, but now they are moving to try and address that. They are moving to try and make sure that there are certain jobs that are reserved for South Africans. He spoke again to the critical skills list, which then says these are the skills that uh, those who are coming from outside South Africa should possess. And then the rest that are not covered there should be, of course, there may be maybe intercompany transfers depending on what the Immigration Act states. But those that are not covered by the critical skills, then will have some difficulties trying to maneuver their way into the South African job market because they will be competing with locals. So the critical skills list is for those skills that South Africa cannot have locally, which are in scarce supply in South Africa. It doesn't have to be just any skill that South Africans can satisfy. So this is what is going to happen. We expect the new quota law to be rolled out within the next few weeks or maybe few months. A month is maybe a long throw. It can be within the next few weeks. So this will make it even more difficult for those migrants who are trying to find employment in South Africa uh, if they do not satisfy the critical skills list. So this is what we've just been told, and we expect to get more information on this, and for as soon as we continue to get new information pertaining to this, we are going to broadcast it. So we would love you, I mean, we would like you to send us your questions via the comments section on what you would like to know. If you want to know which critical skills are listed under the new immigration directive, you are free to go to the Home Affairs website. Then you will go there, you will get to see the critical skills that are now listed there. There are some that were removed. There are others where the bar was raised because South Africans do satisfy some of the skills that were in short supply when the last critical skills were published in 2014. So just send us the comments. I mean, under the comment section, send us your questions, send us your comments. We will respond to those questions that we have answers to as soon as we have the answers. Again, we'll request you to subscribe to this channel, to like this video and share it. Thank you very much.